Well, good morning and welcome to Brekkie with the Guy Who Sews. For anyone that's new, my name is Sean and I'm a quilter and I come on every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. Yes, I know it's early, it's for a bunch of people. And every week I like to bring on a special guest. And today is one of my good friends, Russ, who's been on once before. And I thought it'd be a great time to bring him back for another go around because last time we had electricity issues on my end. So hopefully today, Virginia Power will do their job and not cut me off. And we'll have a full live without any interruption. So for anyone that doesn't know Russ, I'd just like him to take a few moments to introduce himself and tell us a bit more about him and his wonderful channel.
Hi, I'm Russ. My channel is Quilt Meets World. I do right now, it's weekly podcast. I'm trying to get things set up to do lives on my own, not just on Sean's channel and my friend Stephanie's channel. We are working on trying to get things set up in here. I do finally have my second camera around again. I just got to figure out how to get it set up and then figure out how to do the live thing. I've been quilting, I think it's now officially 14 and a half years, which seems like a long time. Yeah, I've just been having as much fun as I can with it. And as people know, the latest thing about me is my air conditioner is still broken. So anybody who's asking, it's still broken. It's a little better, but it's still broken.
Yes, and I figured we'll talk about that a little bit because it has been something that I know myself and a lot of your followers have been, tracking because, yeah, what a time for it to go down. Like I keep hearing these advertisements on the radios like, get your tune-ups, blah, 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 because this things always break when it's the hottest. And yeah, unfortunately, Russ has found that out the hard way. Through no fault of his own. I mean, mechanical issues happen and the supply chain issue, getting replacement parts. He's finding out the hard way that it's not as bad as 2021 and 2022, but it's still quite a bad thing. But I'll step down off my shipping industry issues. But I'm so glad that you decided to join me this morning, even though you have no air. It was so much fun having you on last time, and I thought it'd be fun to have you back on again. I'll just say hi to everybody in the chat real quick, and then we'll go ahead and show everybody what we're working on today, and we'll go from there. My friend Stephen from Plan Designs and the Idiot Quilter is here. It's always good to see him. If you haven't checked out his channel, hit !Stephen. You'll be able to see him. The Emptiness Crafter, Pam, is also here. She's been on the channel, I think once or twice. !Pam for her. Let's see who else is here. My friend Cheryl Curley is here. Good morning. And if I ever miss saying good morning or saying hi to you or responding to a question, I do apologize. It's trying to follow the chat as while you're sewing and chatting and everything else in a live is it's hard. I mean, it's multitasking, and as a man, I'm only supposed to be able to do one thing at once, right?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah, usually. So if you ask a question and you don't get a response from me, go ahead and put in like at the guy who sews, because then it comes up in bright orange. So I just wanted to say that real quick, just in case I do miss someone. It's not intentional. Good morning to Kathy, to Miss Beverly. Good morning, Melody. Good morning to Shannon from Slay Arts. Her channel link is !Shannon. Bettina is here. Good morning. Carrie is here. My friend Janice from The Right Way is here, and she'll be joining me next week, which I think is awesome as well. Kayla Quilt is here. My sister is here, Shelley Island. Good evening to you. I think we said good morning to Beverly already. Miss Chloe is here, and I think I caught everybody. Shelley says she's sending you some Aussie winter coolness.
Yeah,
so I like
need
that.
Some winter at this point.
Yeah.
Although a year and a half ago in December, I had to turn on my air conditioner. It was so hot down here.
Wow. I remember one year it was like 71 or something on Christmas Day here, and I was just over the moon. Like I went back to work the next day, and my boss looked at me and was like, "You must have been happy yesterday." I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I would have been happy with like 10 or 15 degrees warmer for Christmas, but I'll take 71 in Virginia." So
yeah,
that was a lot of fun. But do you want to tell us a little bit more about what you are planning on working on today, Russ?
So I'm sure people have known, and it's fallen off of my weekly vlog, but I'm working on Socialites still. I think the program ended in April. With the fat quarter shop, they're so long. I've got 6 blocks left, so I have 2 of them cut out. The first one I'm going to start is the Changeling Star, and I have the pieces cut out right here. And I apologize if I have some noise in the background. The window unit just cut on. And then I also am going to be doing the energized block, which is this one.
Oh, awesome.
So we'll see how far I get with them, because we do like to chat a lot.
And that's fine. I mean, that's why I always put in my description, usually, we're here to chat, and we might even get some sewing in.
Exactly.
I don't hear the window unit. Zoom
Okay,
does
good.
a really, really good job of cutting out background noise like the sewing machine, window units, and that sort of thing there. And if we do hear it, I'm sure every one of our viewers will be more than understanding due to your lack of air conditioning issues if there's a little bit of background noise. So I would not stress about that too much. Good morning to my good friend Martha from Martha's Creative Life. She is in the house this morning. Philippa is here. And I think I caught everybody. I think I said good. Linda Faust. I don't know if I said good morning to you. And good morning to my friend Gloria. It is good to see her. She's from the Richmond area of Virginia, which is just a couple of hours up the road. I did get to meet her at the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Festival earlier this year. And one of these days I need to go up there and visit her and her little quilting bee friends. But just when that will happen, who knows. Today I am going to be working on the all wrapped up pattern. Don't have anything to show you, unfortunately, because I bought the PDF pattern and I did not print it. I like to keep it on the computer whenever I can. But basically what I've done is I've cut out part of it. There's 87 different strips that are 2.5 by, well, I'm not really supposed to give away the directions, am I? 2.5 by X. We'll just go by that. So I'm going to go ahead and make those. There's going to be 2 shorter strips. This will be like for the head unit, like part connected to the head and the neck. And this will be at the bottom near the tail. And then there's 3 rows of 23 strips altogether that will make the middle 3 rows. If you'd like to see the link to the pattern that you can purchase, you can put in !pattern. And it'll take you to the link there. There's several outlets that sell it. Fat Quarter Shop is one. Missouri Star Quilt Company is another. And I don't know if there's any more, but definitely if you're interested in the pattern, I believe it's about 10. I paid $10 for mine. And it's a collab that I'm doing with Donna from Handmade by Ying. We did a kickoff on Monday night over on her channel. So if you missed that live, go over and check it out. She'll be able to show you the fabrics that she chose. And she's a little further ahead on hers than I am. We were chatting last night on Becca's live and she asked us how we were doing. I'm sitting here feverishly cutting this stuff out. It's all scraps. I just pulled out my scrap bucket and just cut out the strips from that. And she's apparently cut it out, sewed it, and it's already on her long arm. So yeah, she's a little bit further ahead on me, but yeah, that's not an issue. I think it's a fun thing that we're at different stages. So let's see. Let's go ahead and get sewing before I get too much more distracted, because like Russ said, we tend to do more chatting than sewing, but that's okay. We don't mind that. So.
And just so you know, I don't have the word electricity up back here, so we don't
Oh,
have,
and I
any power issues.
I appreciate that more than you know. And for anyone that's new, that wasn't here 3 or 4 months ago when we had our last live, he had a board that said electricity. I think it was like Katy Perry.
No, Billy Elliot.
Billy Elliot. Okay, I see. I'm not good with. I'm not good with what is it, pop culture and that sort of thing there. It's not my area of specialty. But he had, the word electricity, and about 45 minutes into the live, for some reason, my power just cut out. The bill was paid. It was not that issue. And I figured since I was the host of both the live and the Zoom, that the live just went bye-bye and would see you all next week. But apparently Russ is actually got thrust into his very first solo live, and he rocked it. Like, the audience was great. They just started asking him questions. I didn't even realize that the live was continuing on until Martha sent me a text message and said, "Hey, do you realize Russ is still going?" And I'm like, "What?" So, yeah, we still joke about it. And I told Russ, should I go rent a generator for this morning just in case? But should that happen again, I know what to do. I just need to go outside to the car where I can get a cell signal and hop back on, and we can do that. But I don't think we will have that issue twice. And if we do, then I guess Russ and I just aren't meant to be
Aren't allowed
together
to be
on
on
live
the
anymore.
live together.
Yeah. So there we go. So what else have you had going on your channel? I know you do your weekly podcast, which I love watching whenever I can. I tend to catch at least a part of each one, and you do that on a
Yeah.
Sunday evening, correct?
Yeah, I end up recording mine on Sunday afternoons to get published on Sunday evening. It just depends on how long it takes for me to get the video edited, because I'm not quite perfect with just doing a whole one take thing. I got it down to like 2 or 3 takes per segment. I'm doing a lot better, but it still takes time to get the segments stitched together. Basically, the past couple of weeks have been me working on just a whole bunch of quilts that I need to get done for a couple of people in my life. So it's been a lot of fun playing with the long arm. I had last week a few learning experiences with my long arm. It started with I think it all ended up beginning with the fact that the bobbin didn't wind properly, and I wasn't thinking clearly because of the heat, and I went on a rabbit hole that I probably didn't need to run down. And but I got 2 of the 3 quilts quilted that I want to have done, and I just need to get the other one remade and quilted.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, bobbin issues or thread issues are always frustrating because you just never know what it is. But I've learned that I've had the bobbin thing happen to me once. Thankfully, it's only been once, and like you said, it was it took a while for me to figure that out. I mean, usually I start with this, the top thread to make, because usually that's where my problems lie.
Yeah.
But there was one time, I guess the bobbin just didn't load properly, like when it was winding, and it caused a boatload of issues. But
I also
once
had
it happens
the
once or
issue
twice.
with I put the needle in backwards as well. And long arm needles, they don't have the flat edge that which side it's supposed to be loaded into. So it was user error. I admit it was user error, but it was also a wonderful learning experience so that I know this is how I'm supposed to do it. It was just, my first time loading the needle myself, and it was interesting. It's interesting the issues that you have that I never have with my domestic machine, because the domestic machine is very simple compared to the long arm, even though they're both sewing machines.
Yeah, and that's what scares me about a long arm. Like I watched Beth from Goody Goods when she bought her machine. I think it was it last year? I mean, time just flies now. And all the teething issues and the learning curve that you have with a long arm. And the more I see it, the more I just think I'm just going to stick with my domestic for the foreseeable future. So more power to anybody who has a long arm and can run it. I mean, I'm sure once you get used to it and you work out that learning curve, it's wonderful. But I think I'm just going to stick to what I have. Plus, I don't have room for.
I've used a friend of mine's long arm for a few years now, so I know what I'm doing on the long arm. I just haven't been involved in any of the debugging with him. So
okay.
that's where I'm having the fun now, because he knew exactly how to load the long arm. He knew exactly how to make sure like the tension issues are taken care of, and how to make sure the thread's in there, make sure the needle's in there right, how to advance the quilt with the pantograph. So he's known all of that, and he's an expert at it. And I just haven't had a chance to become an expert on all of the minor debugging things. And trial by fire, I'm having fun with it. At least I'm learning now in the smaller projects instead of later when I have a very large project I'm trying to get long armed.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think that'd be a great video series. Like once you figure out these like little things. Maybe do like a top 10 tips of like, issues you might run into as a long arm quilt, because, I think when people buy a long arm quilt machine, not a long arm quilt, I'm sure you guys usually get, like with installation, you usually get some sort of training. Is that correct? But
yeah, usually there's a ton of YouTube University training with the manufacturer. I have a handy quilter,
okay.
and that has been where I've been able to get all of my answers, is through their YouTube University, I call it, because they have anything that anybody has had an issue with. And if you do the right search results, you can easily find a video that explains, like I was having thread shredding and they said it's this, this, or this. And I was like, I thought I had loaded the needle correctly. And I tried different needles because of that. And then finally it was just another video that said, and make sure of this. And I was like, oh, that's what I have done wrong.
Yes.
And it's things that you don't normally get, like I said, with a domestic machine, because, you can only put in your needle one way. You can only put in, well, you put your bobbin in wrong, but there's usually enough instruction on the bobbin. The bobbin, I've had I know how to put the bobbin in. That one was an easy one, because that's an easy mantra to remember. It makes a number 9, and I know how to test that tension.
Right.
But I've had the thread fall out of the tension discs while I'm trying to rethread it or change colors and stuff. And it's just working on what works for me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm still terrified by it. I'm actually looking at like one of my local quilt stores. It's like 30 minutes away, and apparently they have a long arm for rent. It's like $20 an hour or something, which doesn't seem too bad. But you have to get certified first to be able to use it. It's like a 3-hour class with them. It's like $75. But after listening to you and seeing all the issues that other people have had starting up, I'm like, that'd be $75 well spent. I wouldn't want to be sitting there messing with that thing without some sort of training as well. So Cheryl says long arms are wonderful. You just need to pay attention when changing the needle. I didn't realize that they had like, you didn't. I figured their needle be similar to a domestic, where it had like a flat side so you couldn't put it in wrong. I mean,
no, they're stronger because they're completely round. It makes them stronger, so that's why they don't have a flat side.
Okay. Well, see, I'm not an engineer, so
I didn't know that until I read that over the weekend. But the long arm classes, when you rent the long arm, you still are supposed to have that expert with you. So they're gonna because my shop, they do long arm rentals as well, and you have to take it's a 4-hour course, I think, with them.
right.
And they go through all of the basics with you and show you how the machine gets loaded, and basically get you a little bit comfortable following a pantograph.
Right.
But they said that when you rent the long arm, you are renting it for that time, but you're also renting the instructor's time. So she's going to be there every step of the way with you and help you get your quilt loaded, help you get the pantograph all lined up. When you need to advance your quilt, she's there to help you advance it as well. So as you get more and more comfortable, you probably will rely on her less and less. But she's still there, and that's what you're getting for that $20 an hour, is basically her time.
Right.
Because it doesn't really cost much to use a machine that I joke is just sitting there 90% of the time.
That's neat.
Amy?
I mean, Amy, good morning. It's good to see you. Taking the long arm class at the LQS is so worth it, and renting time to use it helps so much. Yeah, that's something I might look into at some point in the future. I think it'd be fun to learn. I mean, I've played on a long arm at like the quilt shows and stuff, but I haven't but it's more like just a demo. I mean, they've already got everything set up for you. All you do is sit there and play. I don't know. We'll see. And if I do, I'll probably take the camera along for a journey and document it for everybody, so you can see, see me learn and fail and all that fun stuff.
Well, you don't learn unless you fail.
Exactly. I mean, I see every failure or every time you have to pull out our friend who shall not be named is a learning experience, because you try not to do it a second time. Exactly. My friend Crystal from Crystal Heart is here. It's good to see you. It's really early for her. I think it's just after 7 a.m. and I think she's in Texas. So it's good to see her. And she'll be joining me here on the channel in just a couple of weeks too. We're going to have a fun little project in store for you all, so keep an eye out for that. I think it's like the end of August that her and I will be joining, hanging out together as well. So that'll be super exciting. If you want to see the pattern that I am working on today, it is exclamation point pattern. You can check that out. And if you are watching the replay, a lot of my viewers watch the replay. Let me know in the comments that you stopped by and said hi today. I would love to know who's watching. I mean, I get to see who's in the chat usually. But yeah, a lot of my replay viewers, I don't, unless you leave a comment, I mean, I can see someone viewed it, but not necessarily you. Good morning, Tamika. It is good to see you this morning as well. Tamika is the author of the little quilting journal that I was showing on the channel a few weeks ago. I still need to fill it out. I won't lie and say that I've done it yet, because I don't know, there's, like Russ and I were talking about earlier, there's just never enough hours in the day.
And I did buy one after you showed it, so, and I haven't started filling it out either.
Okay, so I'm not the only naughty one here. That's good to know. So, all right, well, thank you for putting that in for us, Crystal. I appreciate that. You put the link for the pattern, and that's something I might do each week, is if I'm working on a pattern, I might put the link to the pattern in the bot, so that way you guys can follow along if you want to. And then we'll talk about this earlier as well, but you are doing the Cotton Cuts Carnival, correct?
Yes, I ordered Carnival. I checked just before the live, and my fabric is arriving on Monday. So I'm very excited about that. I've done, oh gee, what was that? A year ago.
So sweet.
So sweet. Yeah, that was my first cotton cuts.
Me too.
And that was a lot of fun. I haven't got that one quilted yet, but the entire top is done. I want to put the border on just to make it a little bit bigger. And then I am doing the large lavender colorway of, what do I want to say? It's Piazza, but it doesn't sound right.
The current one we're doing is Village Green. If you're doing lavender.
Village Green, yeah, lavender with Village Green.
I didn't realize you're doing the same colorway as I was.
Well, I say doing. I haven't opened it month one yet.
That's fine. I mean,
crazy.
I always say with a sew along, it's suggestion. Like you can. If you haven't finished during that suggested time frame, that's okay. So. Sweet Granny.
They're so easy to put together that it takes 45 minutes to do one clue. So if I want to, I can spend a weekend and get caught up very easily.
Oh, for sure. But I've said before, like I'm an ambassador for Cotton Cuts, for both Village Green and Carnival, and it's probably the best thing that's ever happened to me with that, because
it forces you to stay up.
It keeps me accountable. Like I don't really have the option to just put it to the side and start at month 8. So I appreciate Cotton Cuts taking a leap of faith with me, and I actually get more stuff done. But mine did show up yesterday, which I am super excited about.
And I'm going to be doing the sew along with Shannon and them.
Oh, nice.
Slay Arts.
Yes.
For the for Carnival. I have the what colorway was it called? The steampunk one.
Oh yeah, Ferris wheel.
Ferris wheel, that's what it is. Sweet Granny is asking about the AC situation.
Yeah,
So,
why don't you update everyone that's wandered in late?
so this one is interesting. On Tuesday, I got a text from the HVAC company's office saying that they have located a universal replacement part instead of the official part from Train. And why it took them 22 days to decide universal replacement, not certain, but it is what it is. I can imagine they thought that the official Train part would have been coming in faster. And I'll be honest, I trust the name brand part for big things like that over a universal part. So they came in on Wednesday and got me, well, the first fan unit that they, or motor that they put in blew as well. I think he had something wired backwards when he put my unit back together the first day. And then he went and got a replacement, and the blower fan is now officially working. So I can move air about. The problem now is the initial problem that I called them about, where I have leaking in my utility closet because it's not draining. I can run the air conditioner, and normally we have so much humidity in the air that the drain pipe to the outside looks like I have a tap on. And yeah, it's just bone dry outside. It's all just draining into the unit itself and then leaking out to the closet. So now they're saying that the evaporator coil needs to be replaced. Train has acknowledged that there's an issue with some of their evaporator coils, but they're not doing a recall. But my evaporator coil is under warranty. So they're going to replace the evaporator coil with the epoxy version, which they say doesn't have the issue. But that's going to take another 2 to 4 weeks to get out here.
It's
So
nuts. It takes that.
Yeah, I can run my air conditioner for about an hour at a time just to try to get some of the hot out. And with the portable and window units that I have, it helps a lot, but it's still not what I'm accustomed to.
Like you think in this day and age, I mean, FedEx and UPS have these wonderful things called aircraft that fly from China to the
Yeah,
US every single day. And all you need is a airway bill and a customs broker to clear it for you once you get into the United States. And you can have it here in 2 or 3 days.
yeah. The motor surprised me when I saw how small the box was. Like
Yeah.
I've bought donuts that were in bigger boxes than that.
Ah, I need to come to
Uh,
your house for donuts.
and then I mean, I know the entire evaporator coil is a very large box, so I know it's a lot cheaper to ship that using
Ocean.
boat versus airplane, because just the size.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not heavy for the size that it is, but it's still, you're taking up a lot of space. It's that annoying thing with FedEx or UPS where they say, okay, you have a box that is X by Y by Z, and I'm sorry, Z, and we can do the whole you got up to this much weight in there, and then if you go over that weight, it still costs more.
Sorry, I
Did you
seem
lose
to
a
be
piece of
missing some.
fabric?
Yeah, that or I miscounted, but that's all right. It'll reappear. Maybe it fell on the ground. That's all right. We'll solve that issue in a minute. I'd rather have to find a piece of fabric than have to pull out my friends and rip.
Yes.
So I'll take what I can get. Let's see. Tamika says this will be her first cotton cut. She can't wait. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. This will be my third. And then did you do Village Green or Piazza, or is this your second?
Uh, Village Green Lavender is my second, and the Ferris wheel is going to be my third.
Okay,
And
so you,
technically, it's my third and fourth because I convinced my sister to buy one as well, and I would put it together for her. I don't remember a color I think it was like High Flyer or something that she picked. She initially wanted the Tula one,
Yeah, the
but
petting zoo.
sold out
Yeah.
by the time she woke up.
Yeah, that one sold out quick. I've thought about buying a second one, but I was like, I really don't have time to make a second one. And I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about it, and I'm just like, well, we'll see what happens. And then like 30 minutes later, it was sold out, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm not meant to have it. So, but I didn't really want to have a second. Yeah, I didn't really have the time to make a second one anyway, so it was probably better that way. Like, I think I'll just let fate make a decision for me.
Yeah.
But this is what I've
Yep.
done so far.
Oh, that looks awesome. I love people who can do scrappy stuff. I just am not quite brave enough yet to do scrappy stuff.
Oh, I've really fallen in love with it. I'm really enjoying doing the scrappy thing. Like anytime that to me, it's like a personal sense of accomplishment when I can find a pattern and pull from stash. And if I can do the whole quilt, fantastic. But that doesn't happen very often. But even if I can pull like part of it, half of it, most of it,
Uh-huh.
out of scraps, to me that's a win. So, but I've really enjoyed the scrappy part. I've done a few scrappy projects. I think you probably would have seen the Scrappy Diamond last year.
Yes, those were gorgeous.
Yeah,
I
because
just get a little concerned because I don't know how well like Tula Pink would mix with Lori Holt would mix with Camille Ross Kelly.
you'd be surprised. Like there's so many different, like there's 87 different fabrics I've cut out. There's dog fabrics, there's batiks, there's all sorts of stuff. I mean, yeah, that's the beauty of the scrap. It really is, it doesn't really seem to matter. Like you'd think, yeah, these would never go together. But a lot of times, yeah, just throw it together and just hope for the best. It turns out really nice. Like
Yeah.
the reason I did the Scrappy Diamond and the City Avenue is one I'm working on right now. It's the same thing. I used to make drawstring project bags, and when you cut those out, you have to cut out like a 2.5-inch square at the bottom two corners. And so I just put all those into a bag over the years, and then I figured one of these days I'll make something out of it. And that's kind of what gave me the inspiration for those two quilts. And then when Donna came to me about this project we're doing right now, I figured, I'll just use scraps. Because for me to go to the quilt store, it's like 45 minutes away. So it's actually like I actually have to make an effort to go to the fabric store. Like I'm super glad there's not one 5 minutes down the street because I'd be broke.
Mine
Sure.
is like 20 minutes away, so it's
Yeah.
way too convenient. And then we have one that's about an hour away that has basically everything. If you can't find it there, it doesn't exist. Oh, look, my sister's here. Hi, Fran.
Hey, how you doing, Fran? All right. So, Fran is here. I think Kay from the Purple Wall hopped in. She said skydiver. Yes, that is one of the colorways. I think I forget what color that one is. Crystal says Tula always sells out quick. It does. I'm actually starting my very first Tula project in September.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. I've been wanting to do something with Tula for a while. I don't think my local quilt shop sold Tula fabric, or if it did, I never saw it until quite recently. And then I've always wanted to do something with, because everybody loves Tula. And then John from Art East is doing a new sew along, the Alice in Wonderland, and the kit for it this time featured Tula. And I'm like, well, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity for me to jump in with both feet, because I do not want to have to go to 10 different stores and try and find the fabric. I'd rather just pay him and
Right.
have him ship it to me. So that's going to be a lot of fun, that one. So
And
now
you
I can be
do
a real.
love your art east projects. Those things are awesome. They're just a lot of cutting.
Yes.
And
Now,
cutting is my bane. I love the sewing part. I love the binding part. I love every aspect of it. But the cutting, especially if it's stuff that I can't just stack and whack, that's where I get frustrated.
yeah.
Which is probably why I've been a little bit lacked on the socialites blocks, because you're cutting out one block at a time, and it's not stack and whack. You're cutting out the individual pieces.
Yeah, it's a lot of cutting. Those Wizard of Oz blocks had anywhere between, like, I think Toto was the smallest. I think he had like 70 some, and the Emerald City block was closer to 200 and something.
Oh,
yeah, it took forever. But tonight, if you're organized, organization is key. It's kind of like
Yeah.
what a lot of folks say with those legit kits. I printed out little labels with the different letters on them.
I've done that with some of our projects. I have some of the alphabetties, but sometimes the alphabetties don't go out to, letter AQ.
Right, which is why I printed my own. I just opened up an Excel spreadsheet and I just made them 1 inch and I just put the letters in and I color coded them. So like the lowercase is a different color to the uppercase and everything else. And they work beautifully for me. And if I need to adjust it ever, I can just go into that Excel spreadsheet and do it again. Cheryl is asking me, is the dog head and tail pieced? Yes, it is all traditionally pieced. I have not cut out that fabric yet. So you won't be seeing that today on the live, but if I have time this afternoon, I'd like to get some of that cut and maybe piece the tail or the head. But it is all traditionally pieced, which is really, really neat. All right, so I always have such high hopes of getting so much done during these lives, and I've managed to sew together maybe 14 pieces of fabric. Martha says her parents love blue, so that's why I picked the Sky Flyer for, okay. Let's see. Fran says she thinks Skydive was the color I picked. I'm going to redecorate my living room around the quilt. Oh, that's really neat. And then Martha's saying here too, a very good point. If you go to your Cotton Cuts account and click on account, you can see the order, and that's where I go to check the status and remind myself of the colorway I chose, since she always forgets. And that's, I think you and I talked about that this morning. If you want to know where yours is, the tracking information is in your account as well. You'll go into your account, you'll see the order that you made. And then if you click on that, if it says shipped, it will actually give you the tracking link there as well. Now, once it ships, usually the USPS does not show anything until the next day. So if it says shipped and the tracking link doesn't work, don't fret. It should, in theory, show up the next day. But if they forget to scan it because they're scanning like 1,000 boxes at once, it might not show up right away either. But just, yeah, they'll get it out to you as soon as they can. I think most of them have been shipped already. But yeah, it's a whole new thing for them. Like they've always done monthly things. Like usually it's the last Friday of the month for the fall. But this time, if you prepay, you get the whole kit and caboodle up front, and they just email the clues to you, which is how they've done it for the ambassadors for a while. And it's really neat. Like I've really enjoyed having all the clues up front, not having to wait for it to show up. And then they just, so if you've done that, it's really, really neat. Having it that way. But if anyone wants a sneak peek, I can show you what the box looks like. I got this, which is, you do not lose this.
No, never lose that.
Never lose that. And if you do happen to lose it, actually the best thing to do is take a photo of it. So that way, if the dog eats it, if you have a puppy, take 2 photos. At least you have, because you need to reference this, because sometimes, especially if you're doing like the lavender, you'll notice very well, Russ, the dark thing on the pattern may not be the darkest color in your colorway. It's definitely the case in lavender. It's one of the reasons I kind of lean towards something that's got a little more contrast. I love doing the lavender. It's a wonderful colorway, but I kind of wanted something that was a little easier this time around. So, but that's it. And then there's the Flat Nancy. I'm not going to spoil the surprise on that if you haven't seen it yet, but that's going to be a fun little thing they do each month. And then it came in this wonderful box. We're going to do an unboxing here real quick, just because I thought it'd be fun. And they always decorate it beautifully. I did get the thread package. So with mine, it came with white thread, and then it has the red and blue as well, which I think is really, really neat. And then each of the clues as well. So I'm doing the Bomb Pop, which is the red, white, and blue. And I'll be getting the border kits, which they'll ship out with clue 10, I believe, as well. And then once it's all done, I got the Oops kit as well. And that is, I think it's a fat. That's
fat eighth of each of them, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. I always want to say a fat quarter, but that's not right. Where'd you go? Oh, here you are. See, I am so organized on my lives sometimes, but not today. And so that's all of my different fabrics. It's all batiks, which
Those
if
are
anyone
gorgeous.
knows, yeah, if anyone knows me, is no big surprise to anybody. And then I will spoil a little surprise. You do get a couple of Cotton Cuts pens of Clue One.
I love those pens.
Oh, I do too. They're my favorites.
When I got them, I emailed them and said, "How do I get more of these?" And they put them up in their shop. They write well.
Yes.
They write beautiful. I'm a pen snob, and those are in my pen list of what I need to use.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know where they source them from. I don't know if it's like Harry Potter's magical land of pen making, but yeah, they are the best pens. They write so well. I use mine until the ink runs out, and then I just pray and beg that they ship me more within the next project, which usually ends up happening. They tend to last a long time. So yeah, I'm super excited with mine as well. Good morning to Miss Fallon. It's good to see you. If you haven't checked out Fallon's channel, please do so. She's a lot of fun. Exclamation point Fallon, Fallon. If you don't know how to spell Fallon, because it's a fairly unique name. It's not one I've heard before in my life, but I love the name. And if you do have a channel and I haven't mentioned it yet, let me know. I'd be more than happy to have someone drop you a link if we don't already have it in the description. In our bot. But for anyone just popping in, I am working on the, what's it called, all wrapped up. I can never remember the name of the pattern, which is really, really sad. And you can put an exclamation point pattern, and it's like a Dachshund themed quilt, and I'm using a bunch of scraps to make the body of the Dachshund. I haven't made the head yet or anything else like that, but that'll come at a later stage.
And I am working on socialites blocks. I gave up on the first one I started because I made all of these the same direction, and half of them are supposed to go the other direction. So I got to cut more fabric for that, and I didn't want to just go over there. So I'm now switched on to the other block, and hopefully I don't goof up on this one. I can't just rip it because I've already cut it.
Yeah. It's always fun when that happens. Okay, so Fran said that she did get the Skydiver. So yeah, that all the colorways this time around were just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Like it was hard for me not to click add to cart like 3 or 4 different ones, but like I was saying earlier, I simply don't have the time to sit there and make multiples. So I'm just gonna have to live vicariously through everybody else.
Well, with the ones that got sold out, you're going to have to, a lot of people are going to be living vicariously through those who got them. I'm looking forward to seeing what the Tula looks like. I wonder if Ian ended up getting Tula because
he did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. And the Tula one's gonna be fun because I think it's the only colorway that they have 2 ambassadors for. Ian's gonna be doing the large, and then Beth from Goody Goods will be doing the small. So it's gonna be fun to see them both on their respective channels make the clues, because you'll actually get to see that colorway made in both sizes. So that'll be
going to be exciting. Yes.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. So that'll be a lot of fun. So this is my bottom strip. So this will go right before the tail of the dog.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so just all random scraps, nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hang on, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 8. All right, let's use you.
I'm going to say, did you just find your missing piece in the other one?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I have a spare piece, but it maybe wasn't really spared at the start off with, so I don't know. Anyway, it's going on here, and that's just going to be the end of it, so fine with me. Okay, so yeah, and Fallon just has a wonderful channel too. If you haven't seen that, I mean, she's been doing.
I love her stuff.
Yeah, I think everyone loves Fallon, which is awesome because she's just a nice lady. Are you going live today, Fallon? I haven't really checked, unfortunately. Yeah, she did a scrap journal video recently. There was a Dresden quilt she did earlier this week. And she was actually like, if she wasn't the first person I found on YouTube quilting wise, she was very, very close to it. And she's actually the one that got me interested and that sort of thing into the cotton cuts thing. I saw her doing her cotton cuts quilts
Cool.
in years past. So it's really neat. Okay. Yeah. She's asking if the gnomes are going to continue past this year. I have not heard either, but I think they're getting enough. If there's enough sales, I can't imagine why they wouldn't continue it past this year. I think that's fun too, because that's actually something that Kim, the owner of Cotton Cuts, actually designed herself. She's actually the one that designed all the blocks and the different nomies.
I've seen them, and I think they're really cute. If I and I know this is wrong of me to say, I'm like, it feels like it's a whole lot of pieces, and it is, but they're already cut. And that's what's awesome about cotton cuts, is everything is already cut. And that's one of those that it's still hard, even though I've done these projects, for me to realize, yes, it's a lot of pieces, but I don't have to do any of the cutting.
Right. Yeah, and they're a fun project. I bought one. I did the May one, the Nomi that looks like the graduation gnome.
Yes.
And that was fun. And then they sent me the March gnome, which is the one that looks like, I think he has like a pot of gold or something, and then one of the accent blocks. And I do plan on sewing that very soon, and I'll do a time lapse on that so you guys get to see how it goes as well. Okay, so this is my top block. So the head will go, I think, right here at some point soon. But I do need to hurry up. I do need to hurry up and finish this or make some progress, since I'm already way behind Donna, because she got it all done this week. So check my order. It doesn't say shipped. It said the full. Did I do something wrong? No, Tamika, just keep an eye on it. I'm sure to just run into a slight delay here and there, because their whole business model, shipping it out if you prepaid ahead of time, is totally different. Like, it's a whole new operation. I'm sure there's gonna be some slight delays now. And then the other thing too is sometimes the post office doesn't scan each individual item. If they're getting like 17 bags, they may not have time to do everything. So you might not see anything until it gets to the next distribution center or something like that. So keep an eye out. If there's any major delays, I'm sure they will reach out via email and let you know. But I mean, if they haven't shipped it yesterday, they'll probably I'm sure they'll be in there today, getting anything else that they didn't get out yesterday. So just bear with us, bear with them. I'm an ambassador. I'm not an employee. I'm an ambassador for them. They will get it out to you as soon as they can. Cheryl's asking, is the new exchange student here yet? No, not yet. He will be here in, I think it's 3 weeks. We'll go up and get him. So just a few more weeks, and he will be here with us as well. He is a nice young gentleman from the Czech Republic. It's our first time hosting a boy, so it's going to be an interesting thing, but he seems like a really, really nice kid. So we're looking forward to having him come join us in just a few weeks. So because our school year doesn't start until the Tuesday after Labor Day. So I'm already seeing some kids are coming in from, for like the northern states, the Midwest and that sort of thing, because they start, even down south, sometimes they start school earlier than
I think our school district starts next week.
Yeah, my sister-in-law lives in South Carolina, and I think they start in the next couple of weeks too. So there we go. All right, so Balance is no live today. We're doing an escape room and have some deliveries to make. We hope to have one tomorrow. Okay, cool. If I'm around, I will try and catch that if I can. Good morning, Ginger. It's good to see you as well.
Fran is asking me if I'm making gnomes for Gigi, and I'm gonna say I've thought about it. I just haven't figured out where my funds are coming for it yet.
That's always.
Gigi is our cousin, and she loves gnomes very much. So I think that getting her some of those gnomes would be very fun to help decorate her house.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And the nice thing about those too is you can always just go in and buy one. as well if you want. It's very customizable. That's what I did. I figured, let me try one and see what I think of it. And I really enjoyed it as well. So
is it like Lay's potato chips? Once you do one, you can't stop.
It's a lot of fun. It's I would definitely do it again. I think someone suggested to me once doing making a door hanging, and I think that's what I'm going to do with mine, and maybe hang it on the front door, closer to graduation time, and then I can do one. So I'm probably going to go back and buy some more as well. Ginger says her grandkids call her Gigi. Yeah, I'm used to Gigi being a grandma name as well, so I think that's fun. Cheryl says
have you seen the Riley Blake door hangings that are coming out?
No.
They are doing one for each month. I saw it, I think it was a week ago. I saw the first announcement from somewhere, and then a friend of mine tagged me and Fran in it in a post saying I should be doing those with, because Fran, while I was up there in Massachusetts, turned me into her personal sweatshop where I have to make her, I think it's 11 table runners we bought the fabric for. So that is going to be her personal project that she wants. And I said, okay, I'll do them. They're 10-minute table runners, so it's not like I'm doing a million hours worth of work. I'm sorry, they're advertised as 10-minute table runners. I haven't figured out if it's going to take me 10 minutes or not.
Well, the first one might not, but by the time I always find if you have to do something 11 times, you do the 7th one twice as quick as you did the first one. So
yeah, in the end, it might end up turning into a 4-minute table runner.
Yes. All right. Tamika's asking, do you need an extra room to have an exchange student? Yes, the kids do need their own room. They do. I believe they will let you. They can share a room with another student with the same, another child of yours, of the same gender, I believe. If you want more information, Tamika, shoot me an email or send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to get you in contact with one of the organizations I work with, and you can always reach out to them as well. They're always looking for hosts. So if you are interested, they would love to talk to you as well. So yeah, let me know, and I can try and answer any questions I have, or get you in contact with someone that can if I don't know the answer. But yeah, this will be our 4th time doing it, and we really, really enjoy it.
I love seeing your outings that you do with your exchange students to all of the tourist places in the DC area that I've seen you go on trips for, and the Virginia stuff.
It's been a lot of fun. This young gentleman's been to DC. He's been to New York because his older brother did an exchange year in Texas a few years ago. So the nice thing is I don't have to drive to New York. I don't have to drive to DC, so I can focus more on the stuff closer to home or in the mountains, or even go down to North Carolina a little bit as well. So that'll be fun as well. Okay, who's in trouble with the Nightbot? Hang on, what did I miss?
Somebody got in trouble with Nightbot.
I must have missed that. Fallon is asking you, do you have a video of your sewing space? It looks so organized. Yes, I would love to see a video too. I'm going to do one of mine fairly soon.
Fallon thinks my sewing space is organized.
That's what she says.
It's not organized. The plan is a friend of mine is moving back by mid-October, and he's going to help me get my sewing space actually organized. And then after that, I will probably do this is what my sewing space looks like. Just like I've seen with a whole bunch of other YouTube videos, they hide the disorganization.
Yeah, I've seen like was it like a reel on Instagram or something else like that one time, and it was like someone that does cooking videos or something. It's like, how do the creators stay so organized? And you see like this little pan section of like where the camera is, and it's all organized, and then she pans to like the left and the right, and it's like a complete and utter mess. And mine's kind of like that sometimes too. Like, I'm not scared to admit it. it's better than it used to be, but it's still, still not perfect.
Yeah, like over here, I have a pile of quilts down here. It started with the bathroom renovation. I had to get, because of all the drywall dust that was getting out in the air, I needed to move a whole bunch of stuff out of my living space, and I haven't had a chance to get it moved back into my living space.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to move all my stuff in the next little bit because we'll have a contractor come in and do the rest of the floors fairly soon. I did the living room, as you may have seen recently, but the hallway in our house is all tile, and trying to rip that up and that sort of thing there, I figure is just a little bit out of my wheelhouse. So we figure we'll just let someone that knows what they're doing do that part.
Especially since they can probably do it in a third of the time that you can imagine you doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah,
it's still like if I thought that I can do something in an hour, it ends up taking me all day if it's a project that I don't know what I'm doing.
you're making me feel better and better all the time, Russ, because I'm the same way. Like when I did the living room, I thought it'd take a day, maybe two. It took like 3 full days. I mean, I am super proud of what I did. Like I figured it out. I got it done. There wasn't a whole lot of swearing involved, but yeah, it took a lot longer. Like, yeah, a contractor can come in and do it in probably like 6 hours, and it took me, 30. So
And I saw a really good meme out there one day that said, why am I paying you $3,000 to do this? And it took you 20 minutes, whereas I could have done it in a day or something like that and spent nothing. And it's really, you're not paying $3,000 for 20 minutes. You're paying $3,000 for the 20 years it took him to get down to 20 minutes.
right. Oh, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I did it myself the first time, but it gave me an appreciation for what it's going to take to do the next part. And it's just, I'm just, as much as I don't want to spend the money, I'd rather just pay someone that knows what they're doing and will do a better job, probably a better job than I would. And like you said, a lot less.
That's definitely how my bathroom remodel went. Is I know I could probably do a good portion of it, and then I start seeing things like a new tub. I'm like, I don't think I could have gotten a new tub into my house, even if I had 4 different people helping me get it in there.
Yeah. So
a new toilet, I can replace the toilet. I've replaced toilets before, but I also don't trust myself with tiling and making sure the grout is in properly. I've seen enough ask this old house that I can probably do it. But again, it would take a lot more time and a lot more frustration, especially during the days that I didn't have a lot of extra time.
Yeah. And I just don't want the whole, like this 2/3 of my downstairs being out of action for a week or a fortnight while I try and figure it out. I mean, I'd rather just have them come in, do what they need to do, and it just be done. All right. So that crafty life is asking for what's for breakfast. I don't know. I haven't actually. Usually, I hop up, I get my coffee, I get ready for the live, and away I go. Usually, breakfast comes afterwards, but that's just a cute name that I use because Brekkie is what we call breakfast in Australia. So I don't know if you had breakfast beforehand, but I
haven't. My morning routine is always get up and get Riley taken care of because she needs her walk in the morning and all of that. My plan is to run to Chick-fil-A after this and get me some breakfast. It's my Saturday tradition. But then also I have to run up to I have to run up to both local quilt shops because I got a call Thursday saying that they didn't give me enough fabric for my broken chevron quilt that I picked up last week. And I have to go pick up, I think it's about another fat quarter of fabric. I think they said they accidentally shorted because they didn't quite give enough for 13 rows. I didn't follow the voicemail message, and I looked at the pattern and looked at the fabric that I got with the pattern, and it looked like I had enough of everything, but I may be missing something.
You heard was free fabric or more fabric, and that's all you needed to know. So
I mean, that is a true statement. I'm like, if you're going to give me a little bit extra fabric in case I'm missing something, then I will take it.
yep, nothing wrong with that. Okay, what else did I miss? Okay, so Tamika's on her way out. She has a premiere in a little bit. So yeah, if you want to go check that out afterwards, please do. Please do so. I can't talk today. She would love your support on that. Yeah, what is your breakfast of choice at Chick-fil-A? What's your item that you go for?
I have been. It depends on which Chick-fil-A I go to.
Okay.
Because even though they're supposed to be the same, they're not.
Right.
If I go to the one that is closer, I will get their breakfast burrito.
I love the burrito. That's my item of choice.
I do love that. But the one that I prefer to go to, because the one that's closer to me, their drive-through is so slow. So slow. But then the other one that it was the original one that I've always been going to, they don't do the burritos well. So I end up getting their chicken, egg, and cheese muffin.
Do they still have that? I thought they discontinued that.
That was the bagel.
The bagel.
I was so sad when they discontinued the bagel.
That was Amanda's favorite. She always loved that. So
and the thing is, I used to get the chicken, egg, and cheese bagel, but with a grilled chicken breast instead of the fried chicken breast. It made me feel like it was a little healthier. But that I loved that. And I was just so sad when they discontinued that. And just heartbroken.
Yeah, I cried a few tears when they discontinued the chicken salad. I love that stuff.
Oh yeah, and their carrot raisin salad.
Yep. I know how to make both of those. So because I actually worked for Chick-fil-A for 4 years. So I'd have to go off memory, but I could almost give you the recipes for that. But I think actually they put on their website at least a while back, like when they discontinued the coleslaw, they put the recipes up there. Like the chicken salad is it's basically their fried chicken that's been washed to try and get some of the breading and the oil off. And then it's like relish, mayonnaise, hard-boiled egg. I think that was it. Am I missing anything? Oh, celery. So,
what did you do for Chick-fil-A? Were you in the restaurants or were you in corporate?
I was in the restaurants. I pretty much ran the back for quite some time. So
you did Chick-fil-A and I did Waffle House.
Yes. So, all right. Let's see. What else did I miss? What's for breakfast? Okay, Tamika's on her way out. I'm sorry. I'll get this organized. I did like what Fallon said earlier. She said quilt piles are handcrafted decor. I'm going with that. Like, I think we need to like trademark that or something like that, or just everyone use it. Yeah, it's handmade decor. The next time someone says why you got a pile of quilts, it's handmade decor. I love that. So we'll go with that. I think anyone that quilts a lot is usually not super. I'm sure there's some people out there are super organized that have to have everything in their place before they start. I am not one of those people. I need to get my stuff done. So if
I would rather spend time here at the sewing machine than spending time trying to organize the room.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you do you. Like whatever works best for you. But I cannot look down or judge anybody that is not organized because I'm far from organized. Like if you look outside, if I just turn the camera, you're going to see a pile of quilts here, and I'm not ashamed of it. It is what it is. So Ginger says she works from home and her workstation is my sewing room, so I have to keep it neat because it shows on camera, and that's me too. Like this is my work from home station. I work.
That's what Zoom filters are for.
The what?
That's what Zoom filters are for.
Yes. So
because I started having to put Zoom filters because the cats in the background would start playing, and it would be distracting with the team that I'm on the call with.
Yeah, we all have like multiple dogs. I think everyone on the team has a couple of dogs. So just, yeah, if we ever do have to do something from home like that, it wouldn't be a issue as well. The chicken minis, Fallon was saying, all right, I was actually working for Chick-fil-A when they started the chicken minis.
I have
So
been waiting for years for them to decide to do spicy minis. That would be like the sweet and the spicy would be a perfect combination for them to do. I've been asking for it, but there is one thing that I would like more. Up in Massachusetts, they have cheese sauce,
oh,
and
okay.
that does not exist here.
Wow. Okay. Well, they might be doing it. They do a lot of testing in different markets too. So if it does well up there, they may roll out nationwide. It seems to be.
No, it's not even market. It is the franchise groups that can do it, because the Chick-fil-A down here has had a button for it, and they I made a comment to the folks at the Chick-fil-A where I used to work, and they were like, "How do you know we have a button for cheese sauce?" And it's been around at least since the Chick-fil-A in Massachusetts has been around, which I think is since 2014. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
2014. Like the Chick-fil-A in Western Massachusetts, I love them to pieces. I went there a few months after they opened, and like they were just very surprised that I knew all this stuff. And I said, "Well, I live in Georgia. I mean, I know all the Chick-fil-A stuff."
Right.
And I think it was 2 years later, I went back again and they asked my order, and I jokingly said, "What, you don't know my order by now?" And the guy at the register was like, "I don't think I've seen you before." And there was somebody else behind there that said, "Aren't you the guy that came in like every day for 2 weeks because we have cheese sauce and you can't get it down in Georgia?" So yeah, they remember me.
Yeah. I remember like when I worked there, like as soon as like our regulars walked in, my manager, the person that's basically doing bagging, she'd hold back, just go ahead and start making this. And at first I was like, well, it's not on the screen yet. But she's like, it's coming. I'm like, okay, whatever. But it worked out nicely because, they got the customer service they, weren't really expecting. And it made our lives easier because we knew it was coming. So
that's how it was when I walked in, is when I was doing my grilled chicken, egg, and cheese the bagel. They would see me come in, so they would start ordering, or they would start the grilled filet on the back, because they didn't have grilled filet officially for breakfast back then.
right.
And it just, it saved them those couple minutes, because I know they still get metrics based on how long something sits on the expediter screen.
Yes.
And I feel bad for that. There was one time I went through the drive-through and ordered a regular chicken, egg, and cheese bagel. And when I got to the window, the guy at the window said, "Don't you know this grilled?" And I said, "Yeah, but I'm in the drive-through. I'm not going to slow down people in the drive-through because I want my grilled. I'm going to make it as close to stock as possible because I'm not messing with your drive-through metrics."
Yeah,
And I
that's very
became his new
considerate.
favorite customer at that point.
All right. Martha said she had to run away. Good morning to Nancy. I did see you come in, but I don't know that I said good morning. I think I said good morning to Chloe. Let's see. Donna is here as well. Good morning. If you haven't seen her channel, please do so. It's exclamation point Donna, I think. And she said she's looking. She's working on a long arm. She might be working on the same quilt I am, if I remember correctly, because she said it was on the long arm. So I'm assuming it's the same one. Did I miss anyone else? If anyone's asked me a question recently, maybe just go ahead and re-ask, because I get so easily distracted. The Crafty Life says she'll pass on Chick-fil-A. The lines here are always so long. I like using the app. Like I'll go ahead and order my stuff first, and that tends to be pretty quick. You can pick it up in the drive-through, but I usually just tell it to, I'll go inside and pick it up, and then sometimes I'll tell it that I'm there when I'm not really, and that way they get started on it soon. I especially do that with McDonald's. Like if I want like a double
Yes,
cheeseburger or something,
they're the quarter pounder with cheese. It is so much better on them if you tell them you're there like 2 minutes beforehand, because the quarter pounder cheese takes the longest to order, or to not to
yeah,
order, to cook.
yeah, it usually takes them 5 or 10 minutes to make whatever I want. So yeah, I know when I'm like 10 minutes away, I'll tell them I'm there. Like I'm like, if my fries are a little cold when I get there, that's fine.
Yep.
Like I can live with that because it'll tell you. It seems you're far away. I'm like, yes, I'm really here. Just go ahead and make it. I'll be all right.
So I saw Shannon say that her dream is to retire and become a Waffle House line cook. Does Shannon know all of the tricks on how they mark the plates, or even the fact that they mark plates in order to remember the orders?
I've seen videos on that.
That was the like when I was working for Waffle House, that was one of those, really, you guys do that? It just ruined that illusion for me at first. But we also, while I was working there, we had a couple cooks who had been doing it for so long that they actually did memorize your orders in their heads. They didn't do any of the marking, which
I,
was very incredible for me, because I'm like, how are you keeping tabs of all these orders?
I couldn't do that. I mean, my short-term memory is horrible. So yeah, I wouldn't do well. And that was like the one job I could not do when I was working at Chick-fil-A. I could not work what they called the board, which is where you read the screen, you wrap the
Uh-huh.
sandwiches and throw them in the chute. Like there was too many things going on at once, and I'd usually end up snapping at somebody. So they told me I was not allowed to work that position. I'm like, fine with me, I don't care. I'll clean the fries, I'll batter the chicken, I'll run and fetch fries, like whatever you need.
Yep.
I will do, but not that. But it was like when I did the interview for them, they asked me, was there any job here that you will not do? I was like, yes, there is. I was like, I will not work headset. Because back then I'd only been in the country a little while, and I figured there was no way I was going to be able to understand people and them me as well. So I just told him, I said, look, yeah, I'm going to be upfront with you. I will not work drive-through like on the headset. I said, I'll do anything else. Like I'll pass food through the window. I'll unload the truck. I will clean whatever, put me on toilet duty if you want. As long as you don't put me on headset. And I did do it once, and yeah, it was as miserable for me as I thought it was going to be. So I'm glad it was only once for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I can't imagine just doing headset. That's one of those, and especially, you have so many accents that come through,
Yeah.
and you don't have any real control over what you hear. So
Yeah, I just was not comfortable with that. And I was like, well, since you asked the question, I'm just going to tell you, like, if that prevents me from being hired, then so be it.
yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, it ended up working out nicely. So,
Working at Waffle House, we basically had to kind of know everything.
right.
I was in the wait staff group, but there was a couple times where I working third shift, you get the interesting situation. There was a couple times where our cook fell asleep in the back. So if we wanted to earn money, we were the ones that ended up having to cook it ourselves.
Right.
And like there was plenty of times that this happened, and I was like, I don't know how to make an over medium egg, and the customer's like, well, you just do this, and I did that, and they're like, you did pretty good. The omelet was what scared me the most,
I'm sure.
because just trying to flip that big pan, but I did it.
Yep.
And you get to have somewhat free food at Waffle House, but you have to cook it yourself generally, because the cooks will say they don't want to cook food if they're not essentially getting paid for it, because they get paid based on food costs. They get
Okay.
a bonus based on food costs. So if essentially it's taking money out of their food costs, so they don't want to cook it. And I'm like, I get it. I mean, you're not a paying customer's not paying for it, so you don't really want to want to cook it. So I got to be pretty good on the grill during the third shift.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think I did pretty much every position that they had. So, oh yes, okay. Ginger brings up a very good point. She says, Sean, my son's tall like you and works in the kitchen, and in addition to his cooking duties, he's the guy who gets the stuff off the top shelves for everybody. I've forgotten about that, but yes, yeah, all the the not so tall people. Yeah, I'm like, there is a stepladder there, I'm like, but it's easiest to ask you. I'm like, you know what? I can't argue with that. So plus, I was like, if you get the ladder out, you're gonna be on my way for 2 minutes. I can, I might as well just get it done for you.
I've had times I've been in the grocery store and somebody will be like, "Can you reach that for me?"
Oh yeah, that happens to me all the time. And I don't mind. If I can help
I don't either.
someone out.
It's fun to get to interact with people that would normally be too shy to interact.
Yeah. I don't know if this happens to you or not, but it doesn't seem to matter where I go. Someone will stop and ask me for directions.
That happens way too often. And when I was living in Massachusetts, I was dating somebody in the town is pronounced Haverhill. And it's not spelled like that, but it's pronounced like that. And we were walking down the street and somebody stopped me specifically and said, "Do you know where such and such is?" And I was like, "I don't live here. I have no idea where anything is."
I've done that too. I remember one time I was riding my bicycle home from work and someone pulled up, cycling down the street, and someone in a car pulls up beside me at the same speed as me and is like, "Hey, do you know where such and such is?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's down here." But I figured they probably figured since I was on a bike, I knew where I was going. So
it's worse when I was living in Boston because I was a pedestrian and somebody would stop and ask, somebody in a car would stop and ask, "Do I know how to get to some location?"
Yeah.
And the answer was, "I can get there through walking, but there's so many one-way streets and everything. I don't know how to give you directions." Because as a pedestrian, you don't care if it's a one-way street, except for when you're having to look both ways to cross.
Well, I still do anyway, because
that's what I said. Yeah, it's just that you're a little bit safer in one direction with the one-ways.
Yeah, well,
I'm like, I don't know how to get there with whatever directions you're looking for.
Yeah, everyone has Google Maps or Apple Maps these days. So, it kind of surprising that people still ask, for directions. But, I'm always happy to help people out, Someone asked me where.
Fun giving directions and say, "It's where such and such used to be."
Yeah. All right, so Shannon's on her way out. It looks like my friend Beth is here. We were talking about you earlier. She's doing the small petting zoo with cotton cuts. Definitely check out her channel. It should be !Beth. A few people are saying that the short people appreciate us, so thank you very, very much for that.
Yes, thank you.
Shannon's cat is doing better. The cat was not feeling well and it's been at the vet overnight, but apparently it's getting better. So that is awesome news as well. So what are we working on? The Crafty Life is asking. I am working on a pattern called All Wrapped Up. It is it's going to be a scrappy project. And basically I'm doing 5 strips like this. This one's a short strip because it's going to have the head of the dachshund. And the other one's going to have the tail of the dachshund. And then there's 3 more rows that will be like 2.5 times size this. So you'll see progress updates on this over the next couple of weeks. It's actually a collab that I'm doing with Donna from Handmade by Ying with Donna. And she is doing a similar project, actually the same one as well. And she is already on the quilting part of it. It's on her long arm, so you'll get to see progress on hers pretty soon as well. And it's going to be fun to see how hers and mine differ because she's using a whole different fabric line to mine. I just went, I like to call it dumpster diving into my scrap bin and just pulled out a bunch of different fabrics. I have 87 different fabrics for my strips, which I think is really, really fun. So did I happen to miss anything? I don't think so. But I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up in the next 5 or 10 minutes. And then what were you working on again,
done
Russ?
with one of my blocks.
Okay.
I've got 2 seams left. So
Nice. And let's see. Guess who Nancy is here? And I think Nancy Gus popped in earlier. I'm not having a good day with saying good morning, everybody. So if I miss someone, I apologize. It's just, yeah. I don't know. Some days are better for me than others.
it's a product of trying to multitask.
Yeah, and I'm not a great multitasker.
It bothers me when like people in interviews say, "Can you multitask?" And I said, it's impossible to multitask because you can really only do one thing at a time.
Right.
Now can I switch between tasks very quickly? Yes. But can I do 2 tasks at the same time? Nobody can.
No, I can prioritize. That's usually how I answer that question, is I can prioritize what needs to be done first. Because in my line of work, that's very, very important.
Yes, get the ship with the air conditioner coil in first.
Sadly, I don't work on West Coast trade. Otherwise, I'd be more. I would have taken care of that for you a long time ago if I worked for the right steamship line. I can assure you of that. So, but no, I do transatlantic only.
And I'm also been joking lately with the writer's strike. I'm going to be hot and miserable with nothing to watch on TV. So thankfully we have all those awesome YouTubers.
Yes. I spend more time watching my YouTube friends and everything else than I do with like anything else.
That's how I've been lately.
Because I don't know if there's really any TV shows that are current that I watch.
I've been trying to keep up with the new Star Trek shows.
Okay.
It got a little bit difficult with some of the other ones. I did stay on top of Picard because I was a very big Next Generation fan back in the original airing of it.
Right.
So yeah, I really love that, and they did an awesome 3rd season. And but with Strange New Worlds, I'm already behind again. With Prodigy, I'm behind, and then they've started to pull that. Yeah, I also get irritated with the fact that the streaming companies decide what they will let you watch and what they won't let you watch.
Yeah.
And Fallon St. Sheila's cooking competition shows. The only one that I really like is Worst Cooks in America. And I know that's completely scripted in the beginning. I feel like the ending stuff is or after week 1, I think is closer to real, but I don't think that anybody actually thinks that you hold a knife upside down or use a fork to do certain things that you see them do on their first episode. I think that part is scripted, but I think the rest of it is probably fairly real.
Yeah. I don't think you're wrong about that, because I could fake that I couldn't cook and then go on there and win the whole thing. So
right.
I don't know. Amanda loves the cooking shows. They just make me hungry, so I don't watch them. So there you go.
It's interesting to watch things like Chopped every now and then.
Which one?
Chopped.
Oh, yes.
The one where they get the baskets.
Uh-huh.
But I don't understand why they would think to give you, a box of Red Hots and a steak together or something like that.
Yeah,
some of the crazy combinations that I've seen them give.
Yeah, but how some of those folks work with that is amazing. So
It is, yeah, it is truly amazing. It reminds me a lot of Iron Chef that we used to watch in my college days.
Yep.
We loved watching that on PBS along with our Britcoms. That's how I got my love for Britcoms, was college days watching Keeping Up Appearances on PBS and
Right.
Are You Being Served and Mr. Bean.
Yeah, I didn't like the British comedies when I was a kid, but as an adult, I've really fallen in love with them. So I'm with you on that. So
They get away with so much stuff that our censors would not allow.
right, I think Are You Being Served had a board game years and years ago.
Really?
I think so. I almost either I imagined it or they had one because I think we had it as a kid. But you know, being a part of the British Commonwealth, it might have been something that they sold in Australian stores that you may not have gotten on American shores. I have to look it up now because I almost maybe I dreamed it up. So
No, it exists.
okay, so I'm not making it up.
I am going to have to potentially research it because that was a very hilarious show at times.
Yes. Yeah,
I
my
have a
father
block done.
quotes. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that.
So at least I got one of the blocks done, and I'll just go and recut a couple more pieces for the other block later when I have a few minutes.
Nice. And then Shannon's not here anymore, but this is a fun fabric for my upcoming project.
Oh, that is so much fun.
Yeah, we bought this a couple of years ago. We actually made face masks out of it because they were doing a drama production at my wife's school, and it was part of it was Alice. I think it was called Dorothy in Wonderland. It was kind of like a crossover between Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland. It's a fun little play that you can do like for middle schools and stuff. And it was still during when everyone had to wear masks and everything else. So I ended up making like 50 masks out of this, and I had a little bit of this left over. So I figured I'd throw it in a quilt.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland has been one of my favorite universes, I guess. I looked the other day. I have 6 different versions of it in my DVD Blu-ray collection.
Oh, nice.
Because I have the original animated. I have the 2000s, 2010s remake of it. I have Alice from the Sci-Fi Couple Day miniseries. And when I was a kid, they had Alice in Wonderland as a 2-part miniseries on NBC.
Okay.
And I have that version, and I forget what the other 2 versions are that I have, but I was like, I have 6 versions of Alice in Wonderland.
Well, you should totally hop on the, I know it's a lot of cutting, but you should totally hop on that Art East sew along and starting next month.
Yeah, I don't have enough time for that one.
Okay, fair enough.
But spoiler alert, Shannon and I are trying to work on a collab that might start in January that might have something related to that.
Is that the FPP version?
It may or may not be.
Okay. She showed me that the other day. I don't know how much
we're trying to reveal it, but she sent it to me Thursday, and I said, with my love of Alice in Wonderland, and one of my coworkers, he loves Alice in Wonderland too, so I'm like, this would be so much fun, and then I can show him the stuff and just be excited about that and do something that is blocks and FPP at the same time.
You'll love that. I know exactly which one you're talking about because the timeline you're giving me is the same time she came to me. She's like, "Can we do 2 at once?" I'm like, "You can." I would love. The pattern is beautiful, and I'm not going to give it away. And I would love to do it. And if my FPP skills were better and I had more time, I'd be all over it. And it might be something I do in the future, but for right now, with the 2 cotton cuts, this what I'm doing right. Everything else I have going on right now, adding one more thing to my plate is something I do not need to do. So I would be super excited to see you two do it next year. So I really do hope that you get to do that. So that'll be
I think the pattern is being released in September,
right.
but we won't be able, like, I won't have time until probably January to get that in,
Yeah.
because I listed everything that's on my plate that has somewhat of a deadline.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I should have a little bit of time starting in January if we want to do January.
That'd be fun.
And I also think it's a lot of fun to be a couple months behind the official sew along, because there's a lot of people who will see it, like they don't get to see the sew along in the prep phases. They may see block 1, block 2, block 3, and they say, I wish I had joined it. And this gives them an opportunity to join a sew along without having to play catch up.
Yeah. And that's how I was with the Wizard of Oz. Like I sat on the fence for so long because it started last September, and I signed up right around Christmas times. And it was kind of nice that way too, because like I'd already seen the first 4 or 5 blocks. Yeah. So, you know, you have that advantage as well. So I wanted to say good morning to Stephanie Stitches and also Stephanie from Memoirs of a Long Arm Quilts. I saw you pop in earlier. So it's great to see everyone. But yeah, let's just say hi. Sorry. Let's take a look at your subscriber goal, because I think you said you're like 1 off from being at 400, correct?
I am at 400 now.
Ah, excellent. So congratulations. I'm super excited. Yeah, I mean, 400 is an excellent goal. I always say the first 100 is extremely difficult, then getting the next, 2, 3, 4, 500 to 1,000. And then after that, it's each milestone is very, very important. But yeah, getting the traction, getting yourself started, it's a huge achievement. So congratulations on that. I'm super excited.
It's like when I hit like 5, I was excited, and then when I hit 10, I was excited, and now every time that I see my number even go up by 1, I get excited, just because it's just wonderful that people want to subscribe. They like the stuff that I'm putting out, and they're looking forward to stuff that I'm trying to get put out in the future.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm the same way. Like when I started, I figured if I got 10 people, to watch, I was doing well, because, I did it more for accountability and just to get stuff done. Because, these knitting podcasters, they put out these weekly or bi-weekly things and they get stuff done. And that's, that was my thing. So
I think I found you when you were under 25. So
really? Okay. Yeah. That was like a long time ago. So
yeah, you were doing Vlogmas. It was really awesome, and I was like, oh, another male quilter. This is going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, I jumped straight into Vlogmas. I did my first podcast, and I jumped into Vlogmas like 2 or 3 days later, because I figured I needed time in front of the camera. I was so nervous, I was so shy, and I figured, if I do it daily, I'm going to get more comfortable in front of the camera. I figured, I might get 10 people watching it, and that's okay. Like, I really wasn't worried about that part. I just needed camera time, and that was such a wonderful thing to do.
If I look at the stuff before Vlogmas and then the stuff after Vlogmas for me, because I was doing it for like, let's see, 3 months before Vlogmas.
Yes.
And the stuff before Vlogmas, I'm looking back, I'm like, well, that was learning, and now I just feel a lot better in front of the camera. It's just me trying to remember my talking points that I'm trying to do. So I've enjoyed Vlogmas, and I'm just trying to get better. And like I said, I'm trying to figure out how to start to get lives going and everything else, just because I know a lot of people love lives.
Oh, they do. Yeah. And if you need help with that or have any questions, just definitely reach out. I'll be more than happy to help you. But we'll go ahead and say good morning or good evening to everybody. But before we go, do you want to just let everybody know if you have anything coming up in your channel? A lot of people should know about your Sunday evening lives. I almost said Sunday morning, but that's me.
Evening vlogs, not lives.
Yeah, that thing. See, okay. Over to you. Over to you,
Yeah.
Russ.
On Sunday evenings, I publish a weekly update of things. It has what I've been working on for the week, any adventures that I've gone on. I'm trying to get videos of the fur kids in there too. And then, while my air conditioner stuff is happening, you get an awesome air conditioner update. So that I do on Sunday evenings. Tonight, Stephanie of Stephanie Stitches is doing her autumn project. And I'm going to be on with her this evening, along with a handful of other people sewing up the autumn project. I got everything cut out last night. So I said, if you have room, I would love to join everybody. So I will be on that. I don't have a lot of other big things happening. I've just been working on book projects that are kind of due in the next couple months and trying to get those done. And then after that, I'm going to be working on a handful of table runners. So we'll see how long that is. And hopefully, like I said, by October, I will start to get more organization back here, even though, people think that I have it organized, and start to work on trying to figure out how to get lives going on. I have a week off in October, and I think that would be an awesome week to start practicing lives.
That's awesome. Yeah. And that'll be a lot of fun to see you do that. Because you've already done one solo live.
I've done one solo. I've been live with you now twice, and with Stephanie once.
Twice?
Yeah, I think I've lost track.
Yeah. But yeah, you'll rock it. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. And then I'll have my podcast tomorrow morning as usual. So you get to see me in the morning, Russ in the evening. Definitely head over and check out Stephanie's live tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern, or whatever time it is in wherever the time zone you're in. And then I'll probably be doing Sewing Up Clue 1 of the Carnival thing next Saturday. I think I'm going to do an evening live, but I'll announce that.
Yeah, I think Shannon's doing Carnival Live next Saturday evening.
I was going to do it around 7, so it should be after hers. But
okay, I don't know what time hers is yet.
I'll get in touch with her, make sure we don't clash, because if she's already organized it, I'm going to work around her. So, but we'll work that out. But thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's always great to see each and every one of you. If I miss someone, I do apologize once again, but I value each and every person that hits the watch button, the like button. I always love hearing comments from everybody. So if you are watching a replay, definitely come, drop us a comment, say hi, say, you liked it, you didn't like it. We always like knowing who opted in. So thank you all again. Have a great day. Happy sewing. And I will see most of you tomorrow morning. And duck over and see Russ and that later on in the evening. That'll be a lot of fun. I hope to be over there in the chat for that as well. So you'll have a great day, and we'll see you soon.
Bye everybody.
All right.